Ladies and gentlemen, let me see if I can get this thing situated. Wanted to pop on here real quick. Let me see. Make sure I got this thing situated on here. This is live. My wife out of town, so I got my boys to bed and got me a little time, So I wanted to pop on here because I posted in my story. Posted in my story, and I posted on my page. I deleted the last post where the young lady said, I've been dating him 5 months. Can I sleep with him? I deleted that because some of the comments, the advice was terrible. The advice was terrible. And it showed me why women doing so bad in relationships. I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I'm absolutely discombobulated. I'm reading the comment, and I'm like, I seen a lady talking about, girl, gon' bust it wide open. And somebody else, don't put no time limit on it. Just do it when you ready. Somebody else, anybody else in here, do it on the first night. I'm like, listen, this is not the blog site. I see I got to start preaching fire and brimstone. I see I got to run Satan up out of here. I'm like, I said I'm making a mistake. I said Satan got too comfortable. Satan feel too comfortable on my page. I'm like, what kind of advice is this? I'm like, y'all out here hot tamale? Y'all out here loose booty? Like, what in the world? Like, how you think the world in the place that it's in when we don't have sexual morality in our 30s and 40s? It's like, come on now. And then another thing, what y'all have to stop doing is stop letting grown boys control the narrative. You got to stop letting grown boys control the narrative. See, what the thing about it is, what the grown boys done did is the grown boys done came and they don't put so much pressure on women to where they done did the Jedi mind trick and they got women believing the nonsense. The grown boys got women singing the same song they singing. So it's almost like if a man tell you, oh, well, what sense does it make for me to wait if you're not a virgin? People can't grow. People can't change. That's like saying, well, what sense does it make for me to stop doing crack cocaine if I done already did it and hit a wall, drove off the side of the mountain because I was high on crack cocaine? That's like if somebody said that. So when a man say, that's a grown boy mentality. And you can't be a grown girl. That's a grown girl mentality. So, oh, a man ain't gonna wait for you if you done already slept with somebody. Why he gonna wait if you done slept with, Tom, Dick, and Harry? The man wrote a whole book about it. Him and his wife got married after waiting, and neither one of them was virgins. But it was a reset. It was a restart. So it's like, listen to me. This is the thing. The problem with society, let me tell you what the problem with society is. The problem with society is we get to where we stop using common sense. We stop using common sense. And we get to the place to where we just start to do everything the way of the adversary and not realizing that it breaks down society. When you don't have morals and values and sexual standards, especially after you have made all the mistakes, when you done already made the mistake, you done already fornicated, you done already been down that road. So it's like if you slept with people and it did not work out, and you keep sleeping with people and it's not working out, why continue to sleep with people if it's not working out? So then people say, oh, well, ain't nobody waiting till marriage. Ain't nobody waiting till marriage. Listen, the greatest poker players in the world is not going to let you know that they got a bad hand. They're not going to let you know they about to lose. They're going to bluff to make you feel like that you about to lose. They're going to bluff so that you get ready to fold your hand. And that's what you got to realize. Like, listen, God gave us a blueprint, but see, as humans, we take and we do it our way. We do it our way, and then we go to the pillow crying out to God. What did happen to me? What did happen? Why I'm going through this? What is this? God said, listen, here go the way right here. Y'all in shambles that you in. It's so many fatherless homes because we doing it our way. When the blueprint is wait until marriage. Because that'll weed out the person that's not supposed to be in your life. Because if a person not supposed to be in your life, guess what? They're going to leave. Because anything that's worth having is worth waiting for. So it's just like when you go order a new car or you order a new piece of clothes. A lady wrote me, she said, hey, Tony, a shopper at a store, she wrote me, she said, hey, Tony, this right here coming out for your wife. I don't know when it arrived though, but it's ready for order. I placed the order. It took weeks before it came and I didn't have a date. It was because this is worth waiting for. So this the thing. When a man meet a woman, we will wait if the woman wants to wait, if she is the woman for us. Any man that I done ever asked that is a man, not a grown boy, I said, hey, because y'all got to realize, I toured around the whole world speaking on love and relationships. I spoke in third world countries on love and relationships. And what I do is I call some of the men to the front of the room. All the men to the front of the room. Always fit in the front of the room. That's the sad part. The room is 10% men. And I call them up. And I go, hey, if you meet a woman and you feel like this woman is your wife, will you wait until marriage? 90% say yes. And then women say, oh, they lying. I said, how many of y'all ladies think they lying? Every lady throw their hand up. They lying. And that's the other thing. When a man tell a woman what a man is about and what a man will do, women so smart, women don't even believe it. Women so smart, they don't even believe. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right. You just saying that. It's like, listen, I'm here to tell you as a man. If a woman say she want to wait, and that's her standard, and that woman is his wife, he's going to wait. I done dealt with men who got money, who got notoriety, fame, and they say, hey, my lady waiting. My lady waiting till marriage. You know, should I wait? Should I sleep around? Like, to get that out of me? And I tell them, I say, listen, for one, you're not going to get that out you. You always going to have to overcome your flesh. As long as you breathing, you're going to be tempted. I remember sitting with a 80 or 90-year-old man, basically. He was 88 years old, and he still was paying women to do stuff. And he had a catheter. You know what a catheter is. I might be saying it wrong because I'm a little country. The thing that they stick up in there. This man had a catheter, and he still was paying women. Because where we stayed at, it was $5 for a little bit of that. It was, he breaking that $5 off. And I'm like, this is weird to me because he got a catheter. So that showed me right there, as long as a man breathing. My wife was a CNA when she was in high school. And she used to tell me that them old men would be like, yeah, can you just do a little something for me real quick? 80 years old. So listen to me. That's why I tell men, you might as well wait, because you going and sleeping around, that ain't going to change nothing. That's not going to get anything out your system. So you might as well wait. And if you a man and you meet a woman and she say she want to wait, you need to wait. Because what you just found a diamond in the rough. Now, especially if everything else match up now. Now, if she just, she playing a game. She playing a game because she doing everything else that don't line up with a woman of virtue, then okay, don't be no sucker. But if this woman say she's waiting until marriage or she a virgin, it's men that we so stupid sometimes that we will take a woman's virginity with no intentions of marrying her, no intentions of being with her. It's men that we could be so stupid sometimes that we will twist a woman's arm to get her to sleep with us. And it's like, why take her purity? Why take her uniqueness? Why take her righteousness? Why take her virtue and pervert it? Like, do you want your woman to be just like every other woman? Do you want your woman to be just a woman of the world? Just to be just like everybody else? It's like, don't you want a woman that's a little different? Don't you want a woman that's a little rare? Like a woman that wanna reserve her body? Like, don't you want that? And we got this movement to where it's men that's telling women, oh, if you a single mom, you like a used car. Or if you, how long this been? My wife out of town right now. She on the road. So, I sent her on a little trip to do a little shopping for her birthday Sunday. So that's why I'm up this late. Got me a little time. But she out to dinner with her sister right now. So y'all, and I just say that just for those of y'all who knows it. Well, what he on live for? Ain't he married? What he on live for this time of night? My wife out of town and she had dinner with her sister. Thank you. So now listen to me. When you think about this, it's men who telling women, oh, if you a single mom, if you done slept with somebody, you like a used car. You got a low market value. That's ignorant. Because if, as a man, if you done slept with somebody, you got the same low market value. If you a man and you got kids, you a used car too then. It's like people live life, and when we get into a relationship, we bet the house. We put everything into that relationship and we do everything. So that's how we get married. That's how we have kids. That's how we end up in the bed. Because we betting everything on this relationship to work out. And then it don't work out. And if it don't work out, it don't mean you less than. And you better than if you learn from it. If you did something and it didn't work out and you learn from it. What the man told y'all the definition of insanity is. What the man said. Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So if you done slept with 5 different people, 10 different people, 15 different people, 20 different people, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 different people, and your goal is marriage, and it ain't working, it ain't none of them working out, why would you keep doing the same thing? It's like you done did it your way. You might as well go ahead and try it God way and keep them legs closed. Stay off your back. Keep your pants zipped up. But see, this is the thing. We're in a society that's so nasty. We so nasty. And we so lost. We lost and nasty. And then we looking up and wonder why we got so many diseases. Wonder why we got so many broken homes. Because we lost and we nasty. And then we don't have the courage to make a change. We don't have the courage to make a change. We don't have the courage to do something different. We want to keep being nasty. We want to keep being lost. And so I had to delete that last post because I'm like, I say, what? I say, hey, somebody tell Van Jones, give me a little bit of that money Jeff Bezos gave him so I could get me a network, get me a TV show. And I'm finna be on there 24 hours a day with the videos going 24 hours a day telling y'all, listen, stop being stupid. Stop doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. It's like, listen, we out here, we done had sex before marriage. It ain't working out. We done had children out of wedlock. It ain't working out. We done tried polygamy. It ain't work out. We done tried polyamory. It ain't work out. And now we trying to be polyamory, polythane, salyamory, dollaramory. I'm hearing people, I'm asexual, I'm p-sexual, I'm GHF sexual. I'm like, what in the world? People like, oh, I don't sleep with humans no more. I sleep with sweaters. It's like we lost, we confused, and we keep doing it the wrong way. And then when people try to get some advice, try to change their life, they get more bad advice. And I'm going to tell you where the bad advice coming from. It's coming from brokenness. The bad advice coming from brokenness. The bad advice coming from low self-esteem. The bad advice coming from failure after failure. So listen, you done tried it your way. What do you have to lose? Like the man told us. He say, you live in the hood. Your schools are bad. You don't have jobs. What do y'all have to lose? I was like, oh, brother, how you gonna come at us? But not condoning his message, but I'm telling you this other side of this thing. You done tried it your way. You done been in fornication. You done had children out of wedlock. Now it's time to do it a different way. And then people always say, well, Tony, what you and your wife did? Did you and your wife date? Listen, if I drive 90 miles an hour and hit a tree and live, are you going to go drive 90 miles an hour and hit a tree to see if you live? It's like, stop looking at exceptions to the rule and trying to base your life off of an exception to the rule. Don't worry about what me and my wife did, what Joe and Jane did, what Tom and Sally did, what you need to do. Because guess what? It's some people who done laid down and slept together on the first night and got married and still married 20 years later. But guess what? For every one of those that happened, it's 1 million that it didn't work out. And it's 500,000 out that million that got up with a disease. And it's 1 million out of 1 million that got up with a toxic emotional bond that they struggling to break. Got stomach aches, got headaches, having dreams about the person because they decided to get in that bedroom. And well, such and such, they slept together on the first night. Okay. It's like, do you want to be her? Do you want to be him? A lot of times when I see stuff like that, when I see exceptions to the rule, for one, this is what a lot of people don't know about exceptions to the rule. It's not really an exception. You know why? Because all you see is what you could see online. All you see is what they tell you. Ain't nobody telling you their business. People slept together on the first night. People having threesomes. People having foursomes. And they paint a pretty picture. You know who get to see what's behind the picture? Who get to see the back of the frame? Who get to see what this picture made of? People like me, who are coaches and mentors. We the ones get to see the happy pictures online. We get to see the highlight reel, but we also get to see the behind the scenes. So what I'm here to tell you, it really ain't no exception to the rule. But see what humans will do, humans will cap for the comments. Humans are capped for the comments, and you know why humans are capped for the comments? Attention seeking. Want to be recognized. Want to be special. Oh, I slept with my husband on the first night and we still married 20 years later. Did you know your husband is a booty bandit? Yo, you ain't know that. Oh, you slept with your husband on the first night? Y'all been married 20 years? Do you know you his cover up? Oh, you ain't know that. We'll brag about ignorance. People always come and say, Tony, what you and your wife did? What y'all did? Y'all was in fornication. Listen, we was ignorant. We was in sin. So I'm not finna promote that. Cause I know I could tell you to do exactly what me and my wife did, and you'll get up with HIV. Because everybody's life ain't the same. You'll get up with a child out of wedlock. Everybody's life ain't the same. You'll get up with an STD that you cannot get rid of. That have you feeling suicidal. Because everybody not the same. So I'm not finna tell somebody, hey, man, I drove 90 miles an hour. And the curve, you know, when the curve say slow down and it say 25 miles an hour, man, what I just did that. I just drift around the curve like Bow Wow in that movie. Hey, and you see, I'm here. So, hit that curve at 100 miles an hour. I'll be a fool. I'll be a fool to tell you that. Because you know what's going to happen to you? You finna go right off the side of the cliff. I just so happen to have good breaks. I just so happen to have a good day that day. And I made it out. But see, because I was Saul and then became Paul, I got to share the gospel. I'm not finna tell you, I used to persecute women. So, try that out. Persecute women. Try that out. That's what I used to do. No. God, grace me. God, grace me. I'm supposed to be in a grave. I'm supposed to be in a prison. I'm supposed to have HIV, syphilis. I'm supposed to be down bad. But the Lord saw me through it. So I'm not finna come and give bad advice just because I made it through. And the times that I got hurt, I'm not finna come on here and be angry and bitter because I got hurt and speaking from a place of hurt. Because see, one thing I see about a lot of people on the men's side, I see men giving bad advice and it come from pain. I see women giving bad advice, it come from pain. The man was overlooked and he wanted the woman, she wanted the star football player. The woman was overlooked. She put her whole heart in the relationship and she was used and abused and violated. So now everybody giving advice from pain. And we afraid to do the right thing. See, you can't, and see, let me tell you, it don't take the whole world to be doing right. Many are called, few are chosen. Everybody can't hear the voice. It's a coded language. Everybody won't hear it. Everybody won't understand. See, you have to realize that you may only be able to save you and your lineage. You may not be able to save your neighbor, your next door neighbor. You could share wisdom with them. You can set an example, but we all have freedom of choice. But guess what? We also have freedom of consequence. So don't be free to make your choices and then don't want to live with your consequences. Don't be free to make your choices and then you want to trade consequences. So you got to be able to say, you know what? Let me do the right thing. Let me do what I know is hard to do. Let me try that. I wrote a young man in the DM last night. I know this young man. And this young man probably bring home more than $20 million a year. And I know this young man. I've been knowing this young man for going on a decade. And I told this young man, I said, hey, listen to me. You done got married. Let me tell you what changed my life. When I decided to be 100% faithful to one woman. When I decided that I'm going to be 100% faithful to my wife, and that I'm not finna be out here slipping and dipping and tipping, that I'm not finna be out here keep falling into sin, making stupid choice after stupid choice, and I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to tell you, when I chose the right thing, everything in my life changed. Everything in my life changed. And it changed in every area. Peace, happiness, joy, love, sound mind, prosperity, in every area. Because see, doing the right thing, what you realize is that you have free will. And you can ask for strength. And the moment you ask for strength, you'll be granted strength. But then you have a choice to make. Because the strength won't do it for you. You still have to make a choice. But when you choose the right thing, with a righteous sacrifice comes a great reward, a righteous reward. So what I mean by that is, it may not happen right away. It may not happen overnight. It may not happen when you want it to happen. But it won't return void. You cannot sacrifice and not reap a reward. A reward always is going to follow a sacrifice. It's universal law. It's principle. What I mean, this is principle. This godly principle that has been put into place for the world. That means if you're gonna do right, live right, and make those hard choices, eventually you're gonna reap a harvest. But if you keep doing wrong, and you know that you know in your spirit that you're doing wrong, guess what? You're gonna keep getting what you got. But more so than that, eventually you're gonna get worse than you've ever got. Because you're taking grace for granted. You done got in that bed and you got up without an STD. You keep getting in that bed, eventually you're going to get up with something that you can't get rid of. And there's people here that'll tell you their story of when they got in that bed. And it's some people that they knew better. And the first time they got in that bed outside of marriage, they got up with something they couldn't get rid of. The first time. See, sometimes we got to pay a price immediately. See, and there's some people that, and a lot of times we'll do something and we know we're doing wrong and we'll pay a price. And then we look left and we look right. Well, look, he did this 1,000 times and he ain't paid no price. She did this 1,000 times. She ain't paid no price. That ain't fair. Lord, that ain't fair. Why this happen? Why that happen? Hey, y'all gotta forgive me. I'm out here like the preacher spitting on the members in the first row of the pew. I mean, like, I used to be a pastor. Come on now. I know the spirit moving. Y'all gotta forgive me. I'm in here spitting. They ain't got no congregation. But listen to me. This is what you have to understand. If you take grace for granted, eventually grace will not be granted. That's what you got to just look at life. Don't get caught up in semantics. Don't get caught up in trying to be holier than thou. Oh, grace never run out. How you think these pastors get caught up cheating? Grace ran out. You're going to get exposed if you keep doing the wrong thing. If you keep doing the wrong thing, it's a price to pay. So you got to understand that. You got to understand that. So listen to me. I got to go because I told my wife, because I know she finished up dinner and stuff with her sister. And I told her I wasn't going to be on here longer than 30 minutes. I know she probably, they out having them good old conversation, but I don't want to be too long. But listen to me. You know right from wrong. You know common sense. You have common sense. Don't let this sick, deranged world make you lose your mind. Don't turn in your righteous mind for a wicked world. Because the world taking the broad road and is lost. People out here talking about threesomes and foursomes, and somebody asked me about polygamy and polyamory. I remember a lady wrote me and said, Tony, how you feel about polyamory? How you and your wife feel like polyamory? A polyamory. I don't know how to say it. I had to Google it. I say, what in the devil? And that's exactly was the devil. And when I tell you, this lady that asked me that was a very beautiful lady. And she said, it's nothing wrong with it. She said, it's where all partners know. All partners know about it. And it kind of like she was asking me to see if me and my wife would be interested. I about throwed a bottle of olive oil at my phone. I about broke my iPhone with just putting olive oil on it. Just get all the olive oil. Get the olive oil. I had to pour olive oil on, bathe in the olive oil. I was up there. I had to go. I don't even speak in tongues. I was ready to speak in tongues. I say, what in the world? Did they want me to ask me and my wife to be in a relationship with her and her girlfriend? She say it's nothing wrong with it. If all parties know, if everyone knows. I said, Satan, get thee behind me. I'm not finna have that concoction of bacteria. You want me to be in there with 3 women? Everybody finna have a urinary tract infection. We all finna be down there. Gonorrhea, chlamydia. We finna be down there baking and boiling. I'm like, and see, this the thing. A lot of men think that's cool. Boy, you's a fool. Boy, you's a fool. Boy, you done been turned over to a reprobate mind. Boy, you finna bust hell wide open with gasoline draws on. Sodom and Gomorrah. You finna be burning in the front and the back. You finna be burning in the back just to be burning back there. Your whole body, you finna receive something in your body because you being nasty. Because you giving into lust. Listen, we got to stop playing with it. You got to stop playing with it. You could look out and you could see the numbers. You could see the numbers. Okay, this person did it wrong. That person did it wrong. That person did it wrong. And it still ain't. Hold on, hold the music. Hold the music, not yet. We ain't ready yet. We're not gonna do the benediction yet. Hey, baby, if you see this right here, spirit still moving. I got to be on here a little longer. Now listen to me. You finna see, you can look at the numbers. And I'm gonna tell you something. If I met a man, I done met men who got multiple women. If I met a man with multiple women, I used to be that man and I was not happy. I used to be that man and I wasn't happy. It didn't help me sleep at night. I didn't walk around with a smile on my face. I had multiple women because I was operating from insecurity. I was operating from pain. Today, you see men with money got multiple women, and then you see men without money got multiple women. But when you really look at that man, he's at war within himself. Some of them look like Tales from the Crypt. And it's not, and now see, everybody is attractive in the sight of the Lord. But the world has placed beauty standards on people. And so now some of these men with multiple women look like the back of this hat. See how this hat slumped in? Some of these men with 2, 3, 4 women look like the back of this hat. Look like the bottom of this coaster. And then look like they hear microphone. And you have to really realize, okay, you're doing that to make yourself feel better. Some of the men, see, when I look at men with multiple women, what I see is I see pain and I see insecurity. I see pain or insecurity. He's struggling somewhere in his life. And I ain't gonna pinpoint these different struggles because it's men who have that same situation and they doing fine. They happy. But it's because they living their life right. But some people don't know how to handle. They don't know how to play the hand that's been dealt. And so they operate from that pain. And then I'm going to tell you, when I see women, and I'm going to tell y'all, ladies, listen. Stop, ladies, listen. Now, don't y'all be giving bad advice too. It's one thing for men to be giving bad advice because every man know men and every man know that a lot of men think with what's down there. And that thing got a brain of its own, a mind of its own. But come on now. To the women, y'all got to do better. I had to delete that last post because there was women in there telling that woman, go on, get on your back. Go on, give them some. It's all right to do it on the first night. Oh, don't put no time limit on it. Just do you. Just do it when you get ready to do it. What? Come on now. Don't y'all get brainwashed now. But I'm going to tell you what I see. A lot of time when I see women giving that bad advice, they operating from a spirit of Delilah or a spirit of Jezebel. They operating from a spirit of pain, from a spirit of low self-esteem. And a lot of time when I look deep within, she was violated at a young age. Sometimes as young as 2, and she could remember it. But most often between the ages of 8 and 14, she went through something that stole her innocence. It stole her soul. And so she adapted to the cold world. And she said, if the world gonna be cold, then I'm gonna be like ice. And so she go out and she start icing them. And she played the game and she learned the game. And then she played the game better than the men play it. And then she say, well, if I'm gonna play this game, Let me get a house out of it. Let me get a foreign car out of it. Let me get some purses out of it. Let me get my kids' college tuition out of it. And she started using her body as a tool to get money. And it's because men showed her at a young age, they made her feel her body has no value. So when they made her body feel like she has no intangible value or no tangible value, she decides that that's the way of the world. And so she started living like that. She starts believing what she's saying. And then some women, in order to cope with it, they become an evangelist of promiscuity, sexual immorality. And it's really just because she's operating from childhood trauma. And on the flip side, for the men, a lot of times it's the same thing. It was 5 years old. Between the ages of 5 and 12, somebody stole his innocence. Sometimes it was a man. And then he becomes confused in his sexuality. And so he adapts and he starts to live and embody a perverted spirit. And that spirit has him confused, and it has him going from men to women. And he has a feminine spirit, and he masks it with a masculine spirit. See, a part of masculine is a mask. It just got a C instead of the K. And so he puts a mask on. And really deep down, he's confused. And that confusion causes anger and pain. And so he starts to operate from anger and pain. Because on the inside, he's screaming. And he's screaming and he's saying, why did this happen to me? He's saying, why am I like this? He's saying, why can't I control my thoughts? Why can't I control my feelings? And he's yelling on the inside. So then, because he is in spiritual warfare, it leads to physical warfare. But because he has not been renewed, he does not understand that we wrestle not in flesh and blood. So he is wrestling in flesh and blood. And so what happens is, when he cannot be physical, he then has to be emotional and verbal. So now what he does is he starts to belittle and demean and degrade. And he starts to rip the heart out of women and sometimes out of men because of his pain, because of his insecurity. So remember, when you are broken, when you are battered, if you do not go to your Creator to be restored and renewed, you then become an agent for the adversary. And see, what the adversary will do is the adversary will give you a platform. The adversary will give you a platform and will put you in position to cause damage in society. See, that's what the adversary will do. The adversary will say, hey, I'm going to take your pain and I'm going to give your pain purpose, but it's for the adversary's purpose. So what he comes to do is, now these men who are operating from pain and insecurity, they come to steal, to kill, and to destroy, but not physically. They also can operate in the spiritual realm, destroying self-esteem. A lady came to me and she said, hey, Tony, I was listening to this guy's podcast, and after hearing the way he talked to women, she said, Tony, I realized I am those women. And she said, Tony, I look like those women. And she said, Tony, some of the women that he talked to like trash and made feel like trash, she said, Tony, they was prettier than me. She said, Tony, I felt suicidal. That's the work of Satan. That right there, the work of Satan. And it's coming to steal and to kill and to destroy. And so you got to look at the way the world is going, and whatever is being normalized on the Breakfast Club, on the Shade Room, on all these, whatever being normalized, you got to do the opposite. You got to go the opposite way. And you got to run the opposite way. Because the world, what's common in the world, always gonna be bad for you. What everybody is doing always is gonna lead to destruction. Because the way to go is a narrow road. If the narrow road was popular, we wouldn't crucify leaders. We wouldn't crucify people who have a righteous message, people who have a positive message that is to uplift and inspire and to bring the world together. Those people don't get major platforms. Those people can't be, those people can't do. I went to a production company and the production company kept pitching me shows. I said, I want to do a show that help men who have been abusive in a relationship go through like a boot camp with me to change their life. The production company told me, oh, that's too dark. I thought it was leading to the light. They don't want that. They don't want to be led to the light. Instead, the same production company and the same networks, they want to put women on TV to argue with each other and to fight with each other and to sleep with each other, boyfriends and husbands, and then cuss each other out about it and then splash wine and champagne in each other's face. I said, okay. That's what y'all, that's the programming you trying to do. Oh, okay, yeah. You right. I'm the wrong one for you. I got too much sense for that. I'd rather be broke. Than to be on TV acting a donkey, acting like a fool, destroying society. And you know why these people go on TV and do this foolishness? Because they broke. When you make money, you're not finna go on TV and act a donkey. You're doing that for a check because people want to eat. People got to feed their kids. So they say, hey, if all I got to do is go on here with this catty drama and act a fool and argue and fuss and fight and cuss, sign me up. It's for the check. But see, that drives society. But see who you see on there though. Who you see on there. You don't see real toxic, crazy shows as number one with every race. You don't see a toxic, crazy show of splashing wine in people's face and fussing and fighting and sleeping with each other's husbands. You don't see an Asian show like that. It might be a white show out there like that. It ain't number one. It ain't top 5. So, listen. People always be talking about, oh, Tony, do you know that you was a Hebrew Israelite? I say, listen, I don't know about all of that right there. But I know God love me. I ain't right worried about all of that right there. But hey, if I come from that lineage, I know Israel was a chosen people. And so if that looked like me today, which I don't know, I do see a lot of greatness in people who look like me. Hey, my wife texted me, I got to get ready to go. She might have made it back to her room. I do see a lot of greatness in people who look like me. But I see people who look like me being led astray by music and television. And I can't really find enough positivity. Me and my son, we went through his playlist and I had him get rid of all secular music. I said, I know you're going to listen to it at school. I know your friends, that's all they listen to. But I say, up under my roof, you're not finna be listening to these rappers. Because a lot of these rappers don't have a dad. And because they ain't got no daddy, they giving ill-advised advice in their music. Because they were not fortunate enough to have a father. And my heart goes out to them. But again, they'll push that because it's making money. And the Bible say money answereth all things. The Bible say the love of money is the root of all evil. The Bible say it'll be easier for a camel to fit through the eye of a needle. Eye of the needle is not talking about the actual needle now. It's talking about the archway of the city now. Through the eye of a needle, than it will be for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. When that man came up to Jesus and say, hey, Jesus Christo, what's going on? Hey, let me roll with you. Jesus said, hey, go sell everything you got. Go sell everything you got, then come holler at me. Go sell everything you got, then come holler at me, playboy. And I'm finna go now. Go get rid of everything and come on, let's go. The man said, hold on now. hold on now. What you said? What you said? Oh, So see, that's why our rappers, once you touch money, it's hard. I'm going to tell you something. Because look, I touch money. And if I see a certain type of message make something go viral, it's hard not to do what go viral. That's why I'm not viral. Because I'm unwilling to do what it takes to go viral. I'm organic. Organic gonna save your life. See, viral, that's steroids. That's steroids being pumped into your chicken. No, I got an organic farm. I got an organic farm. It's gonna take longer. It's gonna cost a little more. But it's gonna save your life. See, what God gave us organic. What the world giving us, they want to pump you full of steroids. And see, they get that in you and then they'll send you viral. I could come on here and go viral if I want to go viral. The blueprint out there. I'm not willing to shuck and jive. I ain't willing to sambo dance. I ain't willing to go against God. I ain't willing to sell my soul. I ain't willing to do it. I'll stay right where I'm at. Let me tell you something. And let me tell you how God works. When I was viral online, in 2015, 2016, my Facebook was reaching 20 million people a week. 20 million people a week. And do you know what I learned? When I was reaching 20 million people a week on Facebook, do you know that I earn 4 times more money now than when I was viral online? Because I stopped caring about that. And I said, I'm going to share the message that God tell me to share. And it ain't going to be popular. It ain't going to be viral. But it's going to be intentional. And I'm going to trust him to meet my needs. Because he said, hey, I done clothed the lilies in the field. I feed the fowls of the air. I said, yeah, Lord, I see you feeding them. They out there at my trash can eating up everything. And I got to go out there and pick up everything. He said, hey, that's how they eat. But how much more you think I'm going to do for you, my son? I said, okay, I see you. Guess what? I saw it happen. And so listen to me. You got to do what you know is right. See, what the good book what I start to realize is that I retired from speaking engagements. I retired from one-on-one sessions. I opened up one-on-one sessions yesterday because it was so many people that kept writing in. And so my spirit said, I can't do it all the time, but I do it in seasons. And I'm getting ready to close it tonight at midnight, my one-on-one sessions. But I retired from that stuff. And guess what? And I say, I'm going to be intentional based on what I'm instructed to do by my instructor. And everything else was taken care of. Somebody said to me, Tony, hey, so how did your business do in the pandemic? How did your business do in the pandemic? When you couldn't travel and speak? I say, God did 300% increase. Somebody said to me, oh, that's just because everybody was home. Everybody back to work now. I said, God's still doing the same thing. He actually doing more. So what I learned is obedience is better than sacrifice. See, obedience. Because see, we know right from wrong. If people come to me and say, hey, Tony, I really am asking God, why am I not married yet? And I say, well, you in a relationship? Yes, I'm in a relationship, but he won't marry me. I say, y'all sleeping together? Yes, and I really just, I value the fact that he's a man of God. I said, hold on. Okay. So you praying to God and you want God to move, but you doing you. If you want to see God in your life, you got to do God. You can't do you and expect to get God blessings, get God like favor. You can't do that. It don't work like that. You got to get aligned. You got to be doing what you know is right. You just can't keep doing wrong and expect right. You can't expect right from wrong. You can't expect blessings from willing sin. It don't work like that. It's so many people. I get so many letters from the church. You know what I had to do? I had to get on my son. I get on my son's behind. Because you know who I see doing the worst? The pastor's kids. And I tell my son, I say, listen, boy, you're going to pay a price. You're going to pay a price. Long as you up under my roof, you're going to pay a price. You want to act a fool? Oh, that game, you losing that game. My son was grounded from his Xbox for 5 months one time. You know the most his friends that ever been grounded from an Xbox? 2 weeks. My son ain't had his Xbox 5 months. I said, boy, you going to know right from wrong. And if you choose to do wrong, you going to get everything that coming to you, and I'm going to watch you. If you choose to do wrong, whatever come to you, prison, and don't call me. Don't run up my phone on no collect calls, because you know right from wrong. Don't call me. Sit there until you get the lesson. Sit in your mess until you get the lesson. Hey, this Tony Gasson. It's been an hour. I got to go. God bless y'all. My wife text. I got to check on her, make sure, everything good. God bless y'all. We'll talk soon.